Before you fight Gehrman and hopefully defeat him, there's actually a special ending you can get if you consume 3 of the 1/3 umbilical cord before his fight. You get 1 from killing Murgo's wet nurse, you get 1 from killing Ariana after her questline's been completed, so Mikolash has to be killed after saving her, and then you go right behind Cathedral Ward in order to kill her and her baby, and then you get the 1/3 umbilical cord. You also get another in the Old Hunter's Dream, which you can find in the Cathedral Tower, and then you get a 4th one, which is available from going to Yosefka's clinic after killing Rom the vacuous spider and then killing an NPC there. But all you really need is 3, and then you want to consume them 1 at a time. That's all you have to do. You can't consume them all 3. And then each one you consume gives you 3 insight. So you can find them right by your Madman's Knowledge. Once those 3 have been consumed, obviously you can use them to buy stuff. I usually use them to buy some fire or bolt paper or beast blood pellets. Now time to begin the fight. Obviously I'd highly recommend the Canehurst set, keeping you protected. I'd also recommend pushing up on the D-pad before heading in here, just for those extra blood bullets. The runes you should have is just Communion, because you'll be needing to heal up. This is the hardest fight in the entire game. Very skill reliant. Very parry reliant. I mean, all humanoid enemies, if you know how to parry, makes them much more manageable. If anything, like, parrying is kind of required to fight any humanoid enemies. But Bistro works very well all the same, and that's the strategy we'll be using. You want to keep him in this corner area immediately on the right side of the entrance. That's why I kind of was waiting here to lure him in. You could fight him elsewhere, but having him in a corner prevents him from hopping out of your way. If you fight him just in the open, he'll always dodge. As you can see, like, he'll always hop out the way. Even if you do have a corner, it's difficult. That's why you just want to be healing up and always have some blood bullets active so that you can save the bullets as much as possible. And I can't stress this enough, use the Beast Roar. That's the whole point of having it in the first place. And it doesn't really work second phase, so don't worry too much about that. Just use it up as much as you can. And you're essentially skipping the first phase. Obviously, it's still a difficult fight. As you can see here. I don't know how I survived that, but you just want to keep him in the corner, because, like I said, if he's in the open, he'll just get up and hop out the way. And that's why if you can push him into the corner, that's preferred. Like, if he's in the open, then don't even bother attacking him. Maybe hit him once or twice and then continue pushing him into the corner. This is the best corner in my opinion, because he's sort of surrounded on all sides. Right here, I kind of did that a little too early. You want to attack him a few times, like when he's down to 50% health. That activates his second phase, and then he'll be sort of like doing that charge up. And you want to hit him a few times, but then charge up the attack afterwards, because if you charge up the backstab a little too early, it's just gonna not knock him down. With that attack, whenever he charges up, you just want to get away from him, because it may be able to technically one-shot you or significantly damage you, and then he may attack you again to one-shot you. That's why he's a very dangerous enemy. And also, second phase, his scythe is the most dangerous form, but he'll also occasionally split it into a sickle, or like a sword, and a gun. Which, I mean, obviously he has a gun which is long range, but it's a lot more manageable, and you'll soon see why. So obviously, I mean, you can still hit him right here. As you can see, he has much lower range, actually, and I mean, the gun barely does damage, obviously. This part of the fight, you can maybe run in and get 1 or 2 hits if you're close to him, but if you're too far away, then just stay away from him, because that explosion attack, I kind of opened up my menu a little too early, maybe you couldn't have seen it, but the explosion attack can and will one-shot you more than likely. I mean, maybe if you're a normal new game, you can probably survive it with enough health, but otherwise, just stay out of his way. And obviously, in the second phase, you want to be taking advantage of his lower health and deal as much damage as you can. I would recommend Poison Knives. I don't know if Poison Knives works, and obviously he may be able to visceral attack you, but Obviously, that gun doesn't deal any damage. And, of course, obviously, just stay away from him, especially in his scythe form. When he's like this, you can just walk around him when he has the blade and gun. Literally, you could just slowly be walking around him, get in 1 or 2 hits, and then he'll just turn around trying to come back at you. Just loop around, 1 or 2 hits, and then he'll swap over, obviously. Like I said, try poison knives. I haven't tried them, but obviously, even if poison knives don't poison him, it'll still deal damage. And then throw oil urns for the Molotov cocktails. You could even use bone marrow ash to pop some shots off. If you're an arcane build, that's especially good because you can use the Executioner's gloves. And honestly, I love the Executioner gloves with arcane, so that's highly recommended. Maybe even better than the whole Beast Roar strategy. But like I said, when he does that charge attack, you just back off. And wow, I'm running low on blood vials. You can obviously parry him in this phase, but if you don't know how to parry, it's a very difficult fight. And of course, he's sort of able to avoid parries because he has the Old Hunter's Bone sort of active, making it difficult. Whenever he pops a shot at you, you can easily get in 2 or 3 hits. I mean, obviously, it's kind of high risk, high reward on both sides. Like, he can get a visceral attack on you. More than likely, he won't get the visceral. And then when he also shoots, you get 2 or 3 hits in if he messes up. Obviously, I should have been using more fire paper or bolt paper. Be using those at all times. And, oh, wow. We're both at very low health. Okay, I'm just popping off my shots. Finally, man. That was tough. I mean, he's the hardest boss in the game. What do you expect? Now, if you've used the 3 1/3 of an umbilical cord, the next cutscene will be a little different. That mark you just got, you can buy his armor and his weapon at the messengers. And then you can have this cutscene play. Now, if you've used the 3 1/3 umbilical cords, or you could use 1 or 2, you'll have a different cutscene. If you've used all 3, you'll get this cutscene where the boss backs off and you have to fight the boss. If you didn't use 3, then the boss will... I mean, I'm not even sure how to describe it. You can see that for yourself. But if you use all 3, then you get to fight the boss. Although, he's much easier than Gehrman, don't worry. But there's not really a special strategy to beat him. He's just a lot easier because he's bigger. And I'm just gonna get the heck out of here because 0 blood vials, like maybe 10 health, and that's about it for me. Hope that helped. See you soon.